Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Cricket Castaway. What an amazing and a cracking last 12 hours we've had in cricket, the T20 World Cup. It's been an amazing time. I'm Nishant. I'm joined by Divyansh. And Divyansh, first of all, how are you feeling after that, whatever has transpired in the last 12 hours?
Feeling great, especially what happened in the last couple of hours, and it's like the wounds of 19th November have finally started to heal, and I think it's like redemption for all the Indian cricket fans, and yeah, really good feeling to see the mighty Aussies getting eliminated in the Super 8 itself, and it took the entire Asian subcontinent to make that happen. But still, I feel very delighted with the result that has transpired.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, what an amazing game that was between Bangladesh and Afghanistan, and that it's just not been even an hour since the game got finished, and probably we'll talk about it more later. But yesterday night, I mean, what an amazing game that was, and uh, as as we had pointed out about the game model that India has been going on for since before the 50 over World Cup, I think it just bore all the fruits it could in that last game, and the way before when Virat got out, I think nobody would have predicted that you're playing against an Australian side and one of your premier batsmen has just got out. I think everyone would have predicted a bit of caution, a bit of restraint, and let's take this game deep. But not happening with Rohit, and he's just doing what he preaches, and that over of Mitchell Stark where just he just took him to the cleaners. I mean, it was an absolute delight to watch Rohit yesterday.
Yeah, definitely. He stayed on the path that he chose for himself, rather carved out for himself, starting with the ODI World Cup 2023, and he is all in for the team's cause, and he understood the importance of getting a good start in the power play because he knew what explosive power Aussies are carrying for the power play. So he had to somehow get over the loss of Virat Kohli's wicket early on, and he had to move on. And like he said in his post-match interview as well, like he had to take into account the flow of wind as well as he just tried to access all the areas of the field. So that was the most important thing that he took the mantle to do. And yeah, what a night it was, and what a beautiful way he played. Like that Mitch Stark over is etched in the memories of a billion Indians, I think,
Yeah,
at least for the next 2 decades.
yeah. And even the cover drive six that he hit off Stoinis, I mean, that was a thing of beauty. It just came out a bit and just clocked him over covers for a six. I mean,
Yes.
you don't see that kind of a shot often. I mean, 92 of 51 deliveries. I don't remember the last time in such a crunch game, somebody playing an innings of this magnitude. I mean, in a winning cause itself. But it's not just about Rohit. I think Virat. It's now becoming a bit of a concern for the Indian side that he's consistently not scoring. But we still have two matches to go. Hopefully, he makes up for all this in the semis and hopefully the finals as well. But it wasn't even the day for Rishabh Pant in that manner. But Surya again played a blinder of an innings, striking at 200 in a T20 match, scoring 30 odd runs at a strike rate of 200 is exactly what the team needed at that point of time. And also Shivam Dubey played a handy knock, which meant that India could reach that respectable total.
Yeah, definitely. Although the strike rate of Shivam Dube's innings was not that great, it's only in the 120s. But what it did was, he did not let the wickets fall in a heap. So that period of overs, over number 13 to 16, where Australia were crawling their way back into the Indian middle order, and they were not giving 5 6 runs, more than 5 6 runs per over. So someone had to just dig in there and try to make whatever runs they can out of those tight overs, because Hazelwood and even Adam Zampa improved their uh, like Hazelwood was good from the start itself, but Adam Zampa improved his line
yeah,
and lengths in the second spell. So I think that was a crucial phase for the Indian batting lineup, and Shivam did good enough to go through that. And once it was over, and he tried to take his chances, he got out. But it was still a good anchoring inning, where at one time, Sky was going gung ho from one side, and then Pandya took that charge, and he started hitting sixes. So in a way, uh, the scoring run rate never dipped below 10, and it kept on going. That helped India to cross 200 in the
yeah,
final over. So yeah, that was a
yeah,
great example of how to build an innings. And
yeah,
all credit to Rohit Sharma, who led from the top, and he didn't
yeah,
leave this time early on to for someone else to pick up the mantle from
yeah,
there. He stayed till at least more than half of the innings, so that
yeah.
he made sure that we
Yeah.
will anyhow cross 200. So that was a great innings.
Yeah, and I mean, what a great example it sets as well to everyone in the dressing room because he was in 90s. I'm pretty sure if there was any other batter in that India side on that score, he would have probably taken the next 5, 10 balls a bit lightly and tried to get to that 100 safely, but not with Rohit. Exactly what I said. He's just doing the talking with his bat and whatever he's trying to tell these folks in the dressing room, he's when he's out there in the middle, he's doing just that. He might get out every now and then playing those shots pretty early on, but when on a day like this that it matters, he's not thinking about 50s or hundreds or his records. He's just trying to constantly increase the tempo, and that bodes really well for this side as an example because now everyone starts to get into that mindset that it's okay if you lose your wicket, but if you're out there, you have to play attacking cricket, and that is what we saw with everyone in this innings, and we reached a very good score of 205. Though you said Hazelwood was very good. If you look at his 4 overs, his economy was he just didn't give away any runs. And even after that, we reached that score, which was good at halfway point. We thought that it was comfortable, and then Arshdeep comes in and takes that early wicket of Warner, and probably the last time we will ever see Warner in international cricket. So farewell to him.
Yeah.
But after that, when ahead and Marsh took the charge, it was looking pretty ominous for India.
Yeah, it was carnage in the first power play, and I think although there were two drop chances for from Mitchell Marsh, once Rishabh Pant got stuck in the ground and he couldn't reach to the catch. I think that was pretty straightforward from Rishabh Pant's standards, and also half chance when Arshdeep was running in, and he got a uh, he got a catch just in his run up. So I think that should also have been taken, but those kind of catches sometimes stick, sometimes they don't. But yes, the Rishabh Pant ones was a complete
Yeah,
I think it should be counted as a drop chance. And then
yeah,
Mitch Marsh and Travis had unleashed their array of shots, and those famous sweeps and
yeah,
reverse sweeps, and the cuts behind
yeah,
the backward point and square of the wicket. It was amazing to see. Like it was like Travis Head is has no fear. He exposes
Yeah,
all of his wickets and just goes on for the money.
yeah,
So that was terrific, and it was again looking like the night of 19th November,
yeah,
where this guy will take it, will take
yeah,
Australia through. But the turning point came when Mitch Marsh swept hard,
yeah,
or rather pulled hard on Kuldeep Yadav, and everybody thought it's a six, and
yeah,
somehow Akshar Patel timed that
yeah,
jump so well, and
yeah,
he never left the ball. So that was the
yeah,
turning point. And
yeah.
another crucial juncture was that Kuldeep Yadav's
Maxwell's
wicket of
wicket. Yeah.
Maxwell. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, as you rightly said, Travis Head. I'm now getting pretty bored of him, frankly speaking, because every time there's a match against India, this guy would just score. Uh, I mean, Amir Sohail was like that. He would, and even for that matter, Abdul Razak, I remember he would. They may not score against any other opposition, but when it comes to India, they will just simply score every time. And that is the kind of zone now Travis Head is getting into. He just scores every time he faces India. So, yeah, that's about it. But they seriously look threatening to take the game away. As you rightly said, Rishabh should have taken that catch, but I think he has had a great World Cup till now, and a miss here and there. I think probably we can ignore and not harp on too much about it, because already till now the two games left hopefully for India, and he's already the leading catcher as a wicket keeper in all of T20 World Cup. So he's left Adam Gilchrist behind in a single tournament, that is. So he has taken a lot of great catches in this tournament, and he's done really well behind the wickets. Yeah, it was an off day for him. He with the bat and with the gloves, I would say he also missed that boundary where Arshdeep
Yes.
had bowled a reverse swing, and it missed Travis Head as well as Rishabh. So it was an off day, I guess, for him. But that catch from Akshar, man, I mean, it just stuck in his hand. He's such a tall guy, and he just took it one-handed, and that completely turned the game on its head. Because after that, though Maxwell came, and Maxwell was at that point of time even the aggressor ahead of Travis Head. But it felt like, at least to me, and we were talking during the game as well, it felt like to me that if Maxwell does get out at this point of time, probably the scoring will then go down a bit, and the scoreboard pressure will then start telling on a big game. And when Kuldeep took that wicket, I mean, first of all, hats off to Kuldeep. He actually bamboozled Maxwell with that ball. He had no answers. But after that, Akshar Patel came into ball, and bowled some pretty inexpensive overs to build the pressure even more. And that meant that ultimately it was only Travis Head, and he then buckled to Bumrah.
Yeah, definitely. So that catch, talking about that catch, taking a few more minutes because it was that
Yeah,
impressive.
yeah,
And I also saw in the highlights again, the fielding coach was standing right behind Akshar
yeah,
Patel. So so there were talks that the medal process that happens in the dressing room.
yeah,
So the medal is now fixed. It will go to
yeah,
Akshar, and
yeah,
that's the funny part of it. And
yeah,
looking at the height of that catch, only two team members were capable of pulling it off. It was
yeah,
either Shivam Dubey or it was
yeah,
Akshay
yeah,
Patel. So
yeah.
it's destiny
It's
as well. But
It's pretty similar to what Faf did in the IPL when he was standing in the
yes,
circle, and that racing ball came, and he just put his hand up, and just stuck to him. This was on the boundary, obviously, so margin of error was very less.
yes,
But exactly, what an amazing catch! It just turned the game on its head, because Marsh was now settled in, and he's such a powerful bloke. I mean. If he could have gotten going, I think that was then curtains for India, honestly, because he was that one along with Head who had the power and the potential and the skill set to chase this down and take this game away from India.
Yeah, definitely. And we should also commend Rohit Sharma's bowling changes. So
Yeah,
once Maxwell came up and he took Jadeja for a 17
yeah,
over run,
yeah,
Rohit quickly realized that this would not work out with Maxwell
yeah,
at the pitch, and he quickly brought Kuldeep again, who
yeah,
was in his last over, and he completely outfoxed Maxwell.
yeah,
And we saw in the slow replays that Maxwell had already given up
yeah,
while he was swinging the bat, because
yeah,
he already knew in the
yeah,
hindsight that I'm gone and I have been deceived
yeah,
completely on this
yeah,
ball, and
yeah,
it, it
yeah,
might just be an outside
yeah,
chance if I just get a
yeah,
bat on the ball, and it
yeah.
it can
He was
prevent the.
he was going for a leg spinner, probably thought that it'll turn into his pad and he'll swing it, and it was as you say, a doosra, and that just bamboozled him. And there are no answers. Kuldeep has been showing time and time again in this World Cup in the past two games as well, how supremely talented a bowler he is, and the batsmen, no matter who he is, they're just not picking him. So it's not just Maxwell. Even Travis Head was finding it really hard to bat against Kuldeep, and he's
Yes.
such an asset to this side.
Yeah, and keeping Bumrah's 2 overs really worked
Yeah,
very well because of Kuldeep's brilliance. If
yeah,
they were India would not have been able to break through with the
yeah,
spinners, then Rohit would have been compelled to bring
yeah,
Bumrah earlier, and then
yeah,
it might have posed some problems.
yeah,
A good contribution overall.
yeah,
The batting unit, the
yeah,
bowling unit came together, and it
yeah.
required all of India's bowling strength to
Yeah.
restrict the Aussies
it
below
it it
200.
worked down to a T for a script because, as you rightly said, if Maxwell would have survived that over, they would have brought Bumrah in at that point. I feel uncomfortably because they didn't want to bring Bumrah in, but Hardik wasn't having a great day with the ball, and
Right.
Jadeja himself wasn't having that good of a day with the ball, so they couldn't risk either Hardik or Jadeja against Maxwell because he would have taken the game away. So it had to be Bumrah or Arshdeep, and both of them are probably our depth specialists. So it would have been a really hard choice to bring Bumrah on, but that time, but he didn't have to make it ultimately, thanks to Kuldeep. And after that, they just put on the squeeze with Akshar. He bowled such a fabulous spell in those 2 overs in that 14 to 13 to 15 over 16 over period, and just didn't give anything away. And that meant the pressure just kept piling in on Australia, and finally they crumbled under it.
Yeah, definitely. So a master plan that worked perfectly well
Yeah,
to keep Australia out of contention for the semis
yeah.
correctly.
A match, a match that we'll probably remember for a long, long time because Australia, if there's one team that India doesn't like facing in those crucial matches, it's probably Australia because they just have this supreme know-how of navigating tournaments and winning the tournaments, and the most successful side in the past 20 years when it comes to ICC events. So it was kind of a match that India had to win at any cost, and they did so. But still, Australia did have, even after losing this game, had an outside chance of winning this one. And the probabilities after this game were crazy. I mean, all three of the sides could have made it to the semi-final. Afghanistan needed their permutations, Bangladesh needed their permutation, and Australia just needed Bangladesh to win, and they would qualify. And it was pretty intense game which we just witnessed, and nobody knew till the very last over if it was. Australia, who was going to make it to the semi-final, or Afghanistan or Bangladesh. I mean, what were your thoughts about what we just saw?
Yeah, definitely. It went to the last 10 balls. Even in the penultimate over, it was still undecided when the 18th over started and Navinul Haq came to bowling. But yeah, it was really a cracker of a match. But slightly disappointed to see lack of efforts from Bangladesh side that.
Yeah,
They didn't even try to utilize their chance of making it through to the semis. They were just playing. I think they were just playing for the win and
yeah,
not looking at the bigger picture there. So slightly disappointed from Bangladesh for the lack of the effort. But yeah, Afghanistan, they fought hard and they gave their all to achieve this win, and I think they really deserved it. They were the more
yeah,
deserving team to make it through to semis, and yeah, finally they achieved it. Really happy, and to see Dwayne Bravo giving all the instructions to Rashid Khan from the boundary line.
yeah,
So it shows how closely knit this entire unit is and
yeah,
how dedicated the coaching staff, Jonathan Trott and Dwayne Bravo, are
yeah,
for Afghanistan, and the entire nation was on their feet
yeah,
once Navinul Haq took that wicket. So yeah, a great victory for a team that is full of potential, but still
yeah.
coming to the bigger picture and getting that experience in.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, kudos to Afghanistan cricket management and the cricket board. So, when they had a 50 over World Cup in India, they had Ajay Jadeja assisting Jonathan Trott because he knows Indian conditions and Indian pitches and stadiums down to the T. So he could pass on that critical information to Jonathan about the team combinations and what to expect from a certain pitch in a certain game. And when it's a T20 World Cup in India, they have Dwayne Bravo assisting Jonathan Trott, just because it gives you that extra edge. You get to know the insides of the pitch. These are the players who have batted on these wickets their entire lives, so they can give you the best information. It gave dividends to Afghanistan even in the 50 over World Cup, where they almost made it to the semis, barring that magical knock from Maxwell, which is for me the best ODI inning I have ever seen. But it took a magical knock even then to keep Afghanistan out from that semifinals, and now Afghanistan have made it. So it's not like the 2003 Kenya making it to the semifinals of the World Cup, because a lot of results there went in Kenya's favor, and they never defeated any of the major sides in order to reach to the semifinals. But right now, Afghanistan have beaten New Zealand. Afghanistan has beaten Australia to reach to this year's semi-final, and they were almost there in last year's in 50 over semi-final by beating Pakistan and almost beating Australia. So this team is growing and growing, and it's a great story for the world cricket.
Yeah, and their passion really shines through. The way Gulbadin came again after having a hamstring stretch, and it was looking like he would not be able to bowl, but he
Yeah,
came back for the team and he took the crucial wicket. So and kept things tight. So that was a really great show of passion and spirit from his side, and how committed they all are to the
yeah,
team's cause. So that's the main thing. Their passion and their spirit is binding them through and
yeah,
uh, taking them ahead in this tournament. And right now they look like a force to be reckoned with. And
yeah,
South Africa would be quite wary of the fact, because
yeah,
they are just scraping through their victories throughout the tournament, and this team can any can turn the game on its head on any given day. So they should be wary of this team.
yeah. I'm complete agreement with you on that. I mean, uh, uh, we'll talk about Afghanistan after the World Cup in detail, but I think the only thing that this side is missing right now is that number three, number four genuine batter because it can't always be Gurbaz and Zardan to score all the runs. That is why they just keep falling short of the par target. But the bowling is just so good. I mean, the bowling takes them through crucial situations in every game, and that's what happened here. But again, as you rightly said, for the Bangladesh side, I mean, they were basically having each foot in a different boat, and that's why they stumbled at the end because if they wanted to just win the game and not let Afghanistan qualify, if that was their motivation and they didn't want to qualify themselves, they probably could have not thrown away their wickets at the start, trying to chase that total in 12 overs down. But at first, they did try to chase that total down, and then they were very, very close. So, in a T20 setting, when you have five wickets in hand, and you need 40 of 3 overs and you have Liton Das and Mahmudullah batting there, both of them are power hitters. I think then you go for that because you have already made it this far and it's just 3 overs. You may pull it off or you may not pull it off. If you don't pull it off, you're going home any which ways. But
Yeah.
you are now in striking distance, and in that phase, uh, they had seven dot balls and around 4 or 5 runs in those 9 balls, which was mind-boggling because after coming that far, they just gave up. And when that happened, I think that is again where the game turned for them because they were already starting to go slow, and then Mahmudullah got out, and then the spinner that they have and who bats really well sometimes hits a long ball. He got out on the first ball to Rashid, and then they were under real pressure, and the match turned.
Yeah, Rishad Hussain also tried to take on Rashid Khan and just lost his way. And I think they didn't have a clear strategy or the approach that they are going to take in the second innings. I think it should have come very clear from the captain that we have to go for the semi-final spots anyhow. Even if we lose in
Yeah,
trying to achieve that, that's completely fine. So I think that clarity of thought was not there, and that's why
yeah.
after losing a couple of wickets, the batters were looking confused, and then they just started to slow down and
They were
just
neither here nor there. I mean,
not
and
there. Right.
that's the sad part of it all because they did have a chance to make it. I mean, Litton Das gave them actually a chance, and Hridoy, till the time he batted, he was taking it on. So it wasn't like the first three batters. So Soumya Sarkar couldn't bat that much, and the opener Tanzid couldn't get a run on the line. But that's okay. That happens, right? Virat Kohli got out on a zero in the previous game. So, but if the others carry on, you can make it. And there was rain in the air. The showers were coming and going, so the pitch wasn't getting as slow and dry as it should, and the ball was hitting onto the bat. So there were chances for you if you tried to probably make that impact, but after Hridoy got out, I think they just thought that no, we're not gonna make it, and they decided in their head that the target was too much now to make it. So they thought probably we'll be the party poopers and not let Afghanistan qualify as well because this is again another rivalry that's brewing in the Asian subcontinent. It's Afghanistan are the new blokes in the town, and it used to be Bangladesh. But now Bangladesh cricket looks like it's on the decline, and these new boys are coming in and they're performing better than Pakistan, better than Sri Lanka, better than Bangladesh. So
Yeah.
I think now they're soon becoming one of the hated sides in the Asian subcontinent, and the Indian cricket team loves it because most of the time they are practicing in India. So before the World Cup, they were practicing in Noida. and their players are loved by the Indian subcontinent, and especially in our country, they play a lot of IPL. And
Right.
Rashid is such a star, and it's so good to see them getting into the semifinals. And they'll our South Africans can't take them lightly. I mean, though South Africans are the favorite for this one, but we know South Africa never make it past the semi-finals. So if
Yeah.
Afghanistan had to choose between England and South Africa, who they would want to play for that semi-final, it would probably be South Africa.
Definitely, and looking at their recent middle order batting failures, I think the best team to be picked on from Afghanistan's perspective would be South Africa. And just on a closing note on Bangladesh, I think they were missing a guy like Tamim Iqbal in the opening slot, along with Liton Das, who had the intent, who had the
Yeah,
passion to just go for the target. And even though when their motivation just got restricted to only winning the game, even then there was a lack of clarity in thoughts, because when they were 8 down, I think Liton Das should have farmed the strike and should not
yeah,
have gone for a single on the
yeah,
very first or second ball itself of the over,
yeah,
because he knew on the other side there are pure bowlers batting, and they might not be able to gauge the slower ones and the in dippers from Naveenul Haq. So that was a bad decision from Liton Das. He could have gone for some big hits in the last over, which was anyhow, uh, it would have been either bowled by Gulbadin or by Nabi. So he had that chance. So it was
yeah.
last over of Naveenul Haq, and he didn't think it through.
Now, I think it would be harsh for me to say this, but I'll say it anyways. I thought even Litton's inning was pretty selfish from my standpoint. He was probably trying to save himself in a backlash kind of a situation back home. That's the only way I can think about it, because he was set, and he's the kind of player who has the potential to take the game away. God knows he scored 60 out of 24, 25 balls against India in the last World Cup. So, he does have that potential, but he wasn't willing to take the responsibility. And he was looking out for scoring his own runs, and even as you rightly said, if he if winning or losing meant to him that much, probably you can trust a batter till number 7 to be your partner. But after that, and with not that many runs on the board that you need to get, so you need to get 16 or 18 odd runs of last two overs. Yes, you do farm the strike. You take the first four balls, try to get as many as you can, and on the fifth ball or the sixth ball, you take a single, and you probably expose your tail ender for one or two balls at maximum. But he would take the he wasn't taking the responsibility to make those runs himself, which was strange and weird at the same time.
Yeah, definitely. When you need only 12 runs on the last 12 balls, you can easily keep the strike with
Yeah,
you, at least for the first four balls of the over, and try to score in whatever way, like maybe doubles or a boundary. That could
yeah.
have been done.
Yeah, if I'm Rashid Khan in that situation with 12 balls to go, I would want Litton to face as less deliveries as possible and keep the other batsmen on strike and probably get their wicket. So by taking the single on the first ball, what you're doing is playing into Rashid Khan's strategy and sitting at the non-striker end. Whereas Naveen proved that to be the point. He took two wickets in that over and just finished off the game. While Litton Das, congratulations on his 52 or 53 not out in in a knockout game. But what does it give you? Probably a few more quids in your bank that you qualified. You didn't manage to qualify, but you were in the Super Eights. But that's it. I mean, nothing else.
Yeah, nothing else. So quite an inconsequential innings at the end
Yeah,
of looking at the result.
yeah. So I think, yeah. uh, two crazy matches in the space of 12 hours. Uh, 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 Things looking good for India, things looking good for Afghanistan. Uh, I hope it isn't a repeat of the 2021 semi-finals that we lost to England,
Yeah.
because this is going to be a great game. But with Australia out of the tournament, man, I'm gonna tell you, I feel like there is a chance now that we might be lifting this thing up ultimately.
Yeah, definitely. India have a really great chance, and now there are just two matches left, two matches to win, and yeah, look, the chances are looking great. Only one thing maybe they can look discuss about it. It might be that if the think tank agrees, they can bring Yashasvi in and uh, demote Virat Kohli to number three because that's his quintessential spot. And
Yeah,
but
but then
but
who
looking
do
at
they bring him for? Who do they
it
bring
would be
him for
it
that?
would be Ravindra Jadeja only because he has bowled only 10 overs in the last six matches, so they are not utilizing him as a bowler, and he is not doing great things in the batting. So uh,
But
that's the weak spot.
then that means that Akshar will be forced to bowl his 4 overs and Hardik will be forced to bowl his 4 overs. So
Definitely.
then you don't have that.
Yeah, then India don't have that cushion of an extra bowler that they can turn to. But I think Ravindra Jadeja would retain his spot because just yesterday I was looking at the records, and his records against Johnny Bairstow are
Yeah, that's a clear
quite
matchup.
respectful.
Yeah,
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 and England have a lot of right-handers who are a good matchup against Jadeja. So I think India would retain their faith in Jadeja, and he will play
yeah,
this semi final.
yeah. So yeah, I think this is it. What an amazing ride this has been. Now we'll be talking about the semi-finals. I hope we do cross that hurdle and talk about the finals as well. And yeah, keep loving our content. Keep viewing it. Keep liking and subscribing it. Uh, and this is Nishant and Divyansh, and we are signing off.
Thank you for your support. Yeah, keep watching.
Yeah, bye bye.
Bye.